Okay, today's 155.5. How's that for a nice square number there? 555. We talked about Imram A. Ali earlier this morning about how she was 30 in the SES. We talked about a little bit older Eric Rosenbach, who was even closer to Ash Carter, Secretary of Defense, how that is going to be a kind of a Praetorian Guard for Ash Carter as long as Ash Carter will live. And then we went to the GPO book, and the next name is Terrence Suplat, Szuplat. I shouldn't have put the S on there. Now I'll delve into him first before anybody else questions me. This Robert O. Work is actually a real person. As you can see, he's a presidential appointment that had to be approved by the Senate. So, and again, here's your all-important Center for a New American Century. There's John Podesta's view of the world. Let's switch over to thorium reactors, make everybody destroy their uranium ones. And so here's Terrence. Now, he may have known we were coming because he basically gutted. Terrence was a speechwriter for Obama. He basically gutted his profile in LinkedIn. But there he is. He's running this thing called Global Voices. And you know what? Terrence is one of those guys who I think is one of the most talented speechwriters ever. I don't know if you remember Obama's Cairo speech, basically. And everybody says, oh, it was a way of tripling the number of basically CIA trainees in America. That's an awfully dim view. That's an awfully dim view. I don't actually believe that's the case. I believe that Cairo speech in 2009 did open up an avenue between the Muslim world and America, which was good. And Obama, hopefully, will be the Secretary General of the UN, because if we are going to do a topsy-turvy shift in the Middle East, and we're going to throw out all the MBZ's second sons who've been doing dark weapons and go with MBS, Saudi Arabia first sons, and do above board, we're going to need somebody at the UN to say, hey, this is what's happening. Everything's okay. Yeah, a lot of your ISIS uncles are going to be end up in the, with the heads chopped off. But hey, we're not coming after you if you just, move the business over, take the whatever front sign that you have on the front of your building, so and so cab company, and just put, safe cage armaments for diplomatic cars. Just slide that sign in, and we're just going to do this all above board. Now that Trump's passed the 655 billion defense budget, right? So again, the subterfuge isn't needed anymore. This kind of disguised messaging and so forth. I remember when Obama, I think it was 2011, did the Indonesia speech, spoke in Indonesian. Obviously, for Southeast Pacific Asia, one of the largest democracies in the world, Indonesia, that was just tremendously empowering. And there's a tremendous power there if we learn to, in a bipartisan way, reach across the aisle with other folks on the right. I was just talking with Deep Uranium, who's very much on the right, and we joke back and forth about me being so pro Obama, but I can see what's happening here, and I understand these people. I mean, that are just tremendous, great rhetoricians that wrote some incredible speeches. Those are speeches I still look back on. I can't remember the third one that stands out in my mind. Of course, the Berlin speech is probably the largest crowd ever in Berlin. A tremendous power to mobilize people if it's for the right reasons. If there's a Jack Lew over here hiding behind the American flag, or Andy McCabe hiding behind the Navy flag over here, or behind the curtains at the White House, that doesn't help anybody. If it's for a SES hidden agenda, if this is actually the pocket notes for the deep state, that doesn't help anybody. If this is, basically onion paper, and what's below it is basically John Brennan's shopping list, for this week, that's what we have to guard against. But I think Obama is a great advocate if this is just above the board. Hey, we're going to, all the second sons that have ISIS businesses that are, in all these different principalities and emirates, they're going to end up getting their heads chopped off. It's going to happen here all at once, and don't, just chill out, Muslim world. We're going to need somebody like Obama to communicate that message at the UN, I believe. So that's just opinion. But anyway, here's Terrence. You can see these folks who are such acolytes, such believers. And again, I think Terrence Shuplatz is one of the rhetoricians of our time. So here's his Twitter: global voices. Don't worry about U.S. voices. Worry about global voices. Good. Okay. And former policy writer. There's Air Force One in the background, and you can see he's not hiding. As an SES member, his pinned link is "Who linked to the president will next be arrested." No one ever said that about Barack Obama in 8 years. Well, the reason why was John Brennan kept everything secret. Andy McCabe kept everything secret. They did everything off book on Gmail accounts, on 19 different Gmail accounts with Anthony's trusted staff doing the configuration of the Blackberries. That's why nobody ever asked it, is somebody going to get arrested tomorrow? And these people are my closest brethren in terms of consanguinity, but they are hobbled. They are hobbled, and they've just got this deficiency that's just all consuming, that they just can't get over. That the people that they are admiring and the people that they are putting in this high esteem because they went to a couple of museum wine and cheese tasters with Andy McCabe, they somehow think that these criminals at the core of our government that just have engineered a coup, right? Several frame ups. How many did countless frame ups of Trump during the election, and then the coup, the soft coup. They just can't believe that these are somehow not their heroes. And I feel so sorry for people like Terry because he is such a brilliant rhetorician, but lost in the facts.